Hello my wonderful friends, welcome back to my channel and welcome if you're new. My name is Sarsana. Today we are going to be getting through a huge book haul. Since we spoke last in our last book haul, I have purchased many more books. None of us are surprised here. A part of me feels like I should go on a book buying ban because I have just been going way overboard with purchasing books, but at the same time, it's my money and it's my house, my bookshelf, you know? So I do want to start off this vlog by saying that I am very fortunate. I work a lot and I play hard, and the only way I play hard is by purchasing books. This is what makes me happy. This is my hobby. A lot of the times I do purchase books when there's like a huge sale happening. I have a Barnes & Nobles and Books A Million membership. I keep an eye out for sales that happen, and like for example, Target just had like a buy two get one free kind of sale that was happening, and then Barnes & Nobles was also doing a sale where you could get like triple stamps or something like that for being a Barnes & Nobles member, and I stock up on those points and I purchase books that way. A lot of it is just like shopping very smart. I do have a Fairy Loot membership where I get the young adult as well as the adult fantasy or fantasy romance in like their subscription box. So I get that every month, and in addition to that, whenever they have like special edition sales or books that they are putting out, I will most likely pre-order them or something like that. But yeah, that's kind of how I have been purchasing my books. I used to buy a lot of books from Amazon as well. I have since stopped buying books from Amazon, so I may have a few books that I will be talking about that I purchased through Amazon. So go ahead and grab yourself a hot or cold beverage of your preference and let's get started, because this is going to take quite a bit of time. I have a huge stack of books. I literally have books all around me. So we are going to start off very strong, okay? So I am obsessed with special editions made by Acrylic Pics. Their work is just chef's kiss, beautiful. The graphics, the dust jackets, the inside, and their layovers are absolutely gorgeous. So when they were doing a sale for Fourth Wing as well as Iron Flame, I had to get my hands on it. Let me show you. Let me just show you what I mean. So look at this. Look at the foiling. Look at the artwork. How gorgeous. Look at Indarna right here. She's so beautiful. And then we have the back over here again, gorgeous foiling, and in the back it says, "A dragon without its rider is a tragedy. A rider without their dragon is dead." We've read this, we all know this quote, and let me show you the sprayed edge. How beautiful. We have violet right here, and the top is kind of like an extension of the sprayed edges from the side, and then the same thing with the bottom, and it's just absolutely gorgeous. They did a stunning job with this, and the inside is not very anything special. It's literally just all black, and this is kind of what we get in the standard Fourth Wing edition. The map, basically Acrylic Pics did the sprayed edges and the dust jacket, and I absolutely loved it. In addition to the book and the dust jacket, they did also send over page layovers. It has like a list of the chapters and what each of them are for. If you haven't read Fourth Wing, I don't know if it's going to spoil you, but just in case it does, just a word of caution. So here we have Violet. And again, we have Violet and Xaden. We have Violet riding Terran. And there's Indarna with Terran. I love this one. So cute. Oh, this just, this gives me goosebumps. Look at Violet and Xaden. And here we have a hand with darkness and stuff. The page overlays are beautiful. I need to do like a reread again and lay these out. They did an excellent job with the artwork. I am so in love with all of this. And let's take a look at Iron Flame. How gorgeous. And this is the back. It says, "I chose you not as my next, but as my last. Should you fall, then I will follow." This is the sprayed edge. Again, beautiful. They did an excellent job with both books. I'm not even going to tell you guys who is what and what is happening, but this is one of the page overlays. Ugh, and this is the other. Like, I don't even know what to say when I'm showing these to you guys because I'm just speechless. Every time I look at these, I'm just speechless. They did such a phenomenal job, and I can't imagine the amount of time and effort they had to put into creating these, but I'm so grateful that I have them. Stop it! Stop it! Acrylic Pics was having like a huge sale, so I also purchased this set. I'm going to show you the sprayed edges first, and we'll give it a second. See if you can guess it, okay? Test yourself. I believe in you. But can you guys guess what this set is? If you guessed ACOTAR, then you are absolutely right. So I got the ACOTAR set, and it comes with like the layovers and everything. But I'm gonna show you. So let's look at the first book, which is A Court of Thorns and Roses. So this is the front, the spine, and then we have the back. It's really, really beautiful. A Court of Mist and Fury. Here's a little close-up. And we have the spine. And then we have the back. A Court of Wings and Ruin. A Court of Frost and Starlight. And then last but not least, A Court of Silver Flames. Look at them. I like that they did this in silver too. Even though the foiling doesn't match the rest of the set, it tells a different story, so I appreciated that concept. In spirit of talking about special edition books, I figured we would just talk about my Fairy Loot editions that I've received so far. And the next book we have here is Air by Saba Tahir. This book is absolutely stunning. I love the color scheme, I love the gold foiling, and it also goes really well with the sprayed edges. I've seen a lot of hype about this book, but I have no idea what it's about. Let's look at the naked hardback because it deserves a moment. And there is also a reversible dust jacket. This is how she looks. Let me also show you the inside here. How gorgeous are these characters? It's so well done. Let's read a little bit about what this book is about. So on the inside it says, an orphan, an outcast, a prince, and a killer who will bring an empire to its knees. Growing up in the Kigari slums, Eyes has seen her share of suffering, and old tragedy fuels her need for vengeance, but it is the love of her people that propels her, until one hot-headed mistake lands her in an inescapable prison where the embers of her wrath ignite. Banished from her tribe for an unforgivable crime, Saoirse is a down-on-her-luck tracker who speaks to the earth, air, and water to trace her marks. Destitute, she agrees to hunt down a killer who has murdered children across the empire. All she has to do is carry out the job and get paid. But then she falls for a charismatic and inconvenient fugitive who keeps getting in her way. Quill is the crown prince of the empire, nephew of a famed and venerated empress, but he's loath to pick up the mantle when his aunt steps down. As the son of the most hated emperor in the history of his people, he, better than anyone, understands that power corrupts. When a vicious new enemy threatens the survival of the empire, Quill must ask himself if he can rise above his tragic lineage and be the heir his people need. This definitely sounds interesting to me. I hope I'm going to like it. If you've read this book, go ahead and comment down below what your thoughts are on it, because I am very curious to see what any of you are thinking about it. And then next, I pre-ordered Cursebound. This is the second book in this series. I believe the first book is Fable. This is by Sarah L. Arifi. I haven't read the first book yet, but I wanted to get the second book because I wanted them to match. And you guys, they did an amazing job again. Oh my gosh, look how beautiful this sprayed edge is. I'm gonna like put it up close and personal for you to view. The naked hardback is pretty similar to what we just looked at for Air. And this is what the naked hardback looks like. And it is signed. The inside is stunning. This is what it looks like in the back. Also, if you guys are hearing my dogs crying, I'm very sorry. Both my female dogs, they got in trouble, so they are both separated, and yeah, so they're just sitting there crying. This is the reversible dust jacket for Cursebound. This definitely looks interesting. And then I also pre-ordered this one. This is Where the Library Hides by Isabel Ibanez. This is the second book. The first book is What the River Knows. And again, I wanted my sets to match, so I did pre-order this one. It's beautiful. And on the inside, we also have a dust jacket that is reversible. They did a fabulous job with this artwork as well. And the naked hardback is also gold foiling. This is pretty similar to what we see in the first book's hardback. And the inside kind of looks like this. We have some beautiful foiling. This is also signed. The back is similar to the front. Before I purchased the second book, I should have definitely read book one, but again, I wanted my sets to match, and when they sell out, they're gone, and you're stuck with the first book in the set from Fairy Loot, and you have to purchase or hound and find the others, and I hate doing that. And since I am already a member of Fairy Loot, I just figured, why not? The next on our Fairy Loot haul here is Gifted and Talented by Olivia Blake. I've never read an Olivia Blake book. I have One for My Enemy, and I have yet to read it. But this came in my monthly subscription box. I don't know what this is about. If you've read it, also please let me know what you thought about it, because I'm very interested. In the back it says, where there's a will, there's a war. Theron Wren, brilliant CEO of Renfair Magatech, is dead, and the so-called father of modern technology. He leaves an incredible legacy, and any of his 3 telepathically and electrokinetically gifted children could plausibly inherit the Renfair throne, or so they like to think. On the pipeline of a gifted, clinically depressed adult, nobody wins. Yet, as they gather to read Thayer's final words, which Wren will come out on top? Okay, so we got a little bit of sibling rivalry. So this is also a reversible dust jacket. I believe this is the original cover of Gifted and Talented. And this is what it looks like on the inside. Again, beautiful gold foiling, and I like the sprayed edges and how the hardback kind of complements each other. This is the characters on the front page. This is them in the back. So I'm guessing this is the siblings. It definitely seems like there's a intriguing magic system, but I don't know if I'm going to put it to the top of my TBR. But again, if you've read an Olivia Blake book, or if you've read this book, please let me know. I also received this in my subscription box, and this is The Rose Bargain. This is by Sasha Payton Smith. This book is beautiful. Look at the front cover. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? It's beautiful. It literally makes me feel like I want to sit down and drink some tea while I read this book. Look at the naked hardback. This is, I think this is like the standard hardback, and this is the naked hardback. Oh my gosh, I just want to display it by itself because the artwork on the hardback, beautiful, stunning, stunning, stunning work. And then look at the inside. We have our characters dancing here. And then the back. It literally reminds me of Cinderella for some reason. On the inside, it says England, 1848. The season is officially open and high society girls line up to bargain with the immortal queen Morian for qualities that will win them suitors. A perfect smile for the loss of a finger, an exquisite talent for piano in exchange for one's happiest childhood memory. Lady Ivy Benton plans to use her bargain to uncover the truth about what happened to her beloved sister Lydia, whose mysterious disappearance and reappearance means the Benton family have been cast out by polite society. But instead, Ivy's season arrives with a shocking twist. The queen announces a competition to win the hand of her fae son, Prince Bram. Marrying the prince is a prize that could save Ivy's family from ruin. Yet every glittering fae deal has a rotting heart, and amidst lavish balls, vicious competitions, and a dangerous alliance with the prince's irresistible brother, Prince Emmett, Ivy realizes that at the center of this contest lies a dark plot that could destroy all of England and her heart along with it. This reminds me of A Trial of a Sun Queen, kind of. It's like set in like more of a historical setting, but it sounds very, very interesting. I love historical romances. And then another book I have from my Fairy Loot subscription box is Immortal. This book is absolutely stunning. I love the sprayed edges. I love the color scheme that they chose. It's stunning. And the naked hardback is also beautiful. I'll show you that in a second. This is the reversible dust jacket. They are killing it with these reversible dust jackets. I absolutely love. This is the naked hardback. How stunning is this? This is so beautiful. The artwork, my goodness. And this is the inside. I am just in awe of the sheer beauty of this book. On the inside, it says a deadly betrayal. When Lian ascends the throne of Tianixia, she vows to end her kingdom's obligation to the fickle immortals who once protected them. A dangerous alliance. She must learn their secrets to protect her people, but to do this, she will have to forge a tenuous alliance with the one she should fear and mistrust the most, the ruthless god of war. A fight for survival, a treacherous attraction ignites, but dark forces are closing in, and to save her people from an unspeakable fate, Lian must risk everything, even her heart. Why does this sound similar to the Rose Bargain, but in a more cultural setting? Interesting, and it's beautiful. So we shall see. This also came in my subscription box. It is Long Live Evil by Sarah Reese Brennan. This book, I don't know what to think about it. Honestly, like, it kind of scares me. The FMC looks super vicious and yeah, like evil. But she also looks super badass, so I don't even know what to think of this. Let me show you the reversible dust jacket as well. It is also beautiful. They did a great job with this as well. The naked hardback says Time of Iron, the once and forever emperor. And this is the spine and the back. This is gorgeous. This is absolutely stunning. This is the inside, the back. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but it says story for anyone who's ever fallen for the villain. This adult epic fantasy debut from Sarah Reese Brennan puts the reader in the villain's shoes for an adventure that is both brilliant. This is said by Holly Black and supremely satisfying by Leah Verdugo. I love a good morally gray character, so this might be right up my alley, but I believe this is also a YA. We shall see. I have been steering away from YA, but this definitely does look really good. Okay, I believe we have like 2 more left from Fairy Loot. So this one is The Scorpion and the Night Blossom by Emily Wen Zhao, and it says the immortality trials are about to begin. This cover is very beautiful. I love the pink with the black and blue. It just really pops, and the sprayed edges. I'm going to give you a closer view. Hopefully it does it justice. I feel like it looks so much better off camera than it does on camera, but stunning. You guys are not ready to look at the naked hardback. Like, you're not ready. So this is the reversible dust jacket. Are you ready? You're not ready. Look at the naked hardback. Here's a close-up. Here's a little close-up here. How? What? Are you serious? Oh my gosh. deceased. And this is the artwork that we have on the inside. My goodness, I would do anything to be able to create artwork like this. Like, are you kidding? So on the inside it says that immortality trials offer a second chance in a brutal world and are open to any mortal willing to risk the journey to the immortal realm. The prize for completing them is eternal life. However, first they must survive. En Ying knows the prize can heal her dying mother and that she'll need all the help she can get if she's to complete them. But when a rival contestant, both powerful and handsome, promises protection and a chance of survival for both En Ying and her mother, she will need to find out quickly whether she can truly trust the stranger she's falling for or if he's the most dangerous player of all, for herself and for all the realms. This sounds very similar to Serpents and the Wings of Night series by Carissa Broadbent. Tell me I'm wrong. Please tell me I'm wrong. If you read this, let me know what you think about this, because the cover is just gorgeous and I really want to read this, but it's really hard reading books and looking for a different plot because sometimes it's like the same kind of plot over and over and it gets old really fast, and I'm really hoping that this is a little bit different. Okay, so this was also in my Fairy Loot subscription box. It is, I think, a YA book. It's called Cruel is the Light by Sophie Clark. It's beautiful. I love the cover and the back, and the sprayed edges is also very well done. And in the back it says, they say love conquers all, but can love win in a war between demons and exorcists, or will it just tear them all apart? Well, demons and exorcists. Color me intrigued. Don't see that often. Okay, this is really pretty. So this is the dust jacket, the reversible dust jacket. The naked hardback is just as beautiful. Are you kidding? Okay, pop off Fairy Loot. Like, they're doing such an amazing job with the artwork in the hardcover. Wow. This is the characters on the inside. Yo, I am very impressed. Let's read what this is about, okay? So it says, a brutal war between demons and humanity has raged across Europe for over a century. At its heart are two elite soldiers, Celine Oliva, a powerful exorcist trained at the prestigious Vatican Academy, and foot soldier Jules Lecroix, unrivaled in battle. When their paths cross, despite initial distrust, then unwelcome attraction, Jules and Celine discover a terrible secret at the heart of the Holy Vatican City. Soon, Jules is forced to question everything he's ever known, including himself, and Celine, unable to ignore her growing feelings for Jules, must make an impossible choice between love and duty. Okay. I feel like this just moved up in my list of TBR. This TBR is so long already, but you guys, Demons and Exorcist, hell yes. Recently, the second book in like the Phantasma series came out, and I did get Enchantra by Kaylee Smith, and this cover is also just beautiful. I bought this from Barnes & Noble's. As per the sticker, I should really take that off. I hate stickers so much. This is like an interconnected romance about Genevieve. The first book was about her older sister. This is similar to like the Carvel series, but a little bit darker, and I like the plot of this series a little bit more. I felt like this was more engaging for me. This is about Genevieve, and after her mom passes away, she like goes into this trial so she can save her and her sister's fortune. Yeah, things just happen, and it's just super dark and eerie, and I'm really excited to read about Genevieve's story. I bought this series on Target's buy two get one free sale, and I have no regrets. I have been dying to read this series, and currently I am reading this series. I read the first book. I'm on the second book right now, and oh my goodness, I'm going nuts. I'm literally not sleeping to read this series, and that is, forgive me, I can't remember the title of the series, but this is like the Trial of the Sun Queen series by Nisa J. Tully. So I bought all 4 books. The first book is Trial of the Sun Queen. The second book is Rule of the Aurora King. The third is The Fate of the Sun King. And fourth is Fate of the Heart Queen. Oh my goodness, you guys, I am obsessed with this series. If you love Throne of Glass, then I feel like you may really enjoy this series. The first book, there was like no love interest involved, but it does have POVs, I believe, of the two love interests. And our FMC, she's a total badass. Her and her siblings have been enslaved since they were like 12 years old. They have gone through a horrific amount of trauma in this so-called prison by the Aurora King, and all of a sudden our FMC is getting punished for something, and then she finds herself somehow in the Sun King's kingdom. She's been put into like this trial. She's like the final tribute, and she has to lie about where she was as far as a prison. She's not a part of this kingdom, she's a part of a different kingdom, so she basically has to lie. They're making her lie or they're going to put her back in prison, and she's like super worried about her siblings while she's going through these trials. And she's like, if I become the Sun Queen, then I can get my siblings out, I can make things better for people and stuff like that. It's really good. If you haven't read it, I'm already recommending it because I'm eating this shit up. Next is a book that I've already read. I will be reviewing this very soon. The Scattered Bones by Nicole Scarano. My oh my, does this book pack a punch. This is basically about two lovers who have like a forbidden love. Basically, our FMC, her body is basically supposed to become a goddess's body, and the goddess is going to take over her body. She's going to go to sleep until the goddess is done with her body. When she becomes of old age, the goddess will leave her body and switch to a different one. In the period of time of her to become 21, because that's when the goddess will take over her body, she has to abstain from sex, and she has a specific amount of rules that she has to basically follow. One day, she meets our MMC and they fall in love and things happen. She doesn't stay pure anymore, and in order to punish her, the gods sever his body into pieces and scatters him all around the world. She goes on a quest to locate all of his body parts so she can make him whole. This is devastating and absolutely beautiful. I know this is a book haul and I'm not supposed to be giving you a review, but you got it anyways. And then next I got the first three books in the Legend of Thesmar series. This is by Helen Scher. The first book is Blood and Steel. The second book is Vows and Ruin. And the third book is Fate and Furies. I've heard really good things about this series. I have no idea what it's about, but I've just heard a lot of hype about Helen Scher's writing and how amazing this series is, and I really want to dive into this, and I really want to see if I can be introduced to a different author, and I'm really excited. This looks like a amazing fantasy romance. Let's read the back of Blood and Steel a little bit. It says, with her death foretold, Althea Zoltaire only has 3 years to become what she's always dreamed of being, a warrior legend. Women are forbidden to wield blades, so she has trained in secret her entire life. Now racing against the clock, she fights to secure her place in the elite guild charged with the protection of the 5 kingdoms. The sparring and hazing of the new trainees border on deadly, but even more dangerous is her growing attraction to Wilder Hawthorne, her unwilling warrior chaperone. All around them, schemes are afoot and darkness looms. Will Althea pass the perilous initiation test and take her place as a champion of Thesmar, or will the invading evil snatch away her dream before it starts? Ooh. I'm really excited to read this series. I got these books as a combination from Amazon and Target. So I got the House of Devils series. This is the first 3 books that's out. I believe the 4th and final book is going to be released sometime this year. That's why I've kind of held off on reading this, but I've heard that this series is epic and we love a epic fantasy. So the first book is City of Gods and Monsters, Cities of Lies and Legends, City of Souls and Sinners by Kayla Edwards. These books are thick. This is the 3rd book. Let's see what this series is about a little bit. In the back it says death is only the beginning. Lauren Kalla has only ever been ordinary. As a human struggling to survive in a city that caters to the needs of vampires, werewolves, witches, and other supernatural creatures, she always assumed her life would remain simple, predictable, and as safe as her world would allow. Until she barely escapes abduction at the hands of dark slayers, supernatural bounty hunters that possess the Sight, a magical tracking ability that allows them to see a person's aura, and one of her friends is taken in her place. The abductors are demanding a ransom, Lauren's life, in exchange for her friend's safe return. Lauren will do whatever it takes to get her friend back, even if it means accepting help from Darien Castle, the leader of the Seven Devils, the most feared dark-slaying circle in the city. Darien specializes in tracking down demons and criminals that are better off dead than alive. So when he takes a job to track down Lauren and finds out she is human and couldn't hurt a fly if her life depended on it, he decides to protect her instead of turn her in for a reward. As much as Lauren doesn't want to admit it, Darien is her best and only chance at finding her friend alive if she can somehow manage to get along with him and not fall head over heels in love with him in the process, which is far easier said than done. When more women start disappearing and some of them slowly turn up dead, Lauren and Darien's search for answers takes them deep into Angel Fiend's corrupt underbelly, where they discover a dark secret that threatens to unravel their world. And when tragedy strikes, Lauren learns that love can make an ordinary person do extraordinary things. The series has been compared to Crescent City, and I love a urban fantasy, and I've heard a lot of good things about Darien Castle, so I'm really excited to read this series. If you haven't watched my previous video where I read Fairy Tale, you should definitely go check it out because that book is amazing, fantastic, god tier. But when I heard people comparing this book to Fairy Tale and Addie LaRue, I did not like Addie LaRue as much, but Fairy Tale, anything getting compared to that book, I will add and read immediately. So I heard Our Infinite Fates by Laura Steven compares to Fairy Tale, so I bought it. And it comes with like this beautiful gold spray edge. I have no idea what this book is about. I just know that it is a reincarnation kind of fantasy romance. So let's see what it's about. The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue meets This Is How You Lose the Time War in this fantastical and epic love story that defies death as two souls reincarnate through the centuries. Evelyn can remember all her past lives. She can also remember that in every single one, she's been murdered before her 18th birthday by Arden, a supernatural being linked to her soul. The problem is that she's quite fond of the life she's in now, and her little sister needs her in order to stay alive. If Evelyn wants to save her sister, she'll have to find the centuries-old devil who hunts her through each life before they find her first, figure out why she's being hunted, and finally break their curse and try not to fall in love again. Yeah, this sounds really good. I really hope it's not the same kind of concept like Addie LaRue. I didn't like how everyone forgot her, and sorry if this is spoiling you if you haven't read it. And I didn't like the time jump kind of thing. It really messed me up. I couldn't do it. And then I found a copy of The Little Women. I don't even remember where I found this, but I found this and I had to get it because I haven't seen a copy of Little Women like this, and I have been slowly trying to collect every copy that I can of like classical books. One day I want to read them all, so I got it. And speaking of classics, I picked up the Giver series. I forget what it's called, but like there's like 4 books in the series, and I don't even know if I have them in order here, but the first one I know is The Giver by Lois Lowry. I read The Giver in like elementary or middle school, and I have been obsessed about it. And I did watch the movie. I think it's on like Pluto or something like that, but the movie was also very good. I feel like it has a meaningful message, and I try to get my kids to read the book and like watch the movie because I feel like it has a very powerful message. The second book I think is Messenger. Then we have Gathering Blue, and next we have Sun. I don't know what order these go in. This one says it's the thrilling conclusion for Sun, so maybe this is the last one. But yeah, I want to reread The Giver and the rest of these books because it just feels very nostalgic to me. Then I also picked up The Outsiders by S.E. Hinton. This is also a book that I read when I was in school many years ago, and I just wanted it in my bookshelf as a collection, and I really want to read it again. I also got Fahrenheit 451 by Ray Bradbury. I love this book with every fiber of my being. Again, I read this when I was a kid and I wanted it on my bookshelf, and yeah, I had to purchase it. I'm trying to slowly collect classics and I guess banned books, because some of these are on the ban list. I actually think all of these books on the ban list, and I don't give a shit because they're just amazing. And yeah, I just feel like they're a important part of history. My kids, they tell me that they don't read these books in school anymore, and I just think that's atrocious. Like, our 17-year-old told me that she read The Outsider, and I was like, okay, cool, but like, what about these other books? And she was like, I haven't even heard about this. And it really really breaks my heart. To finish my collection off by Lauren Roberts, I did buy her finale, Fearless, and she's a lot thicker than the other two books in her series, and I'm really intrigued. I want to know what all the hype is about. So many of you are reading this and raving about it, and I just have such bad FOMO, so I grabbed it on release day. And then I bought The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna. This is a historical fiction, and I believe this is the 10th anniversary copy. I had to purchase it. It's gorgeous. And yeah, I really want to know what all the hype is about or surrounding Kristen Hanna as well. I heard her writing is absolutely beautiful. I heard that this also has a very powerful message, and yeah, I just want to get into it. I bought Slaying the Vampire Conqueror by Carissa Broadbent. This was from Barnes & Noble, as you can tell per sticker. I have no idea what this is about. I was just like on an itch to buy a book, and I saw this and it said Carissa Broadbent and it said vampire, so I was like, okay, say less. So I purchased it. I know that I still have to purchase the rest of her books, The Fallen and The Kiss of Dusk or something like that. I still have to get that one because I believe it's a part of the Crowns of Nyaxa series. So yeah, I'll be getting to that sometime soon. And then I bought these from Target. It is by Carolyn Peckham and Susan Valenti. This is a part of one of their series. I don't remember what the series is called, but this one is A Kingdom of Gods. And this one is A Game of Malice and Greed. I feel like it's like sort of like a Aladdin retelling or something like that. I have no idea, but I wanted it. I love their books and the banter and just everything, like the spice and everything in their books. It's just absolutely fantastic. I literally cackle at every one of their books where I'm freaking tearing up, and I just love that they can make me feel that way. In the back of A Game of Malice and Greed, it says, a twisted heart, a hollow soul, a broken warrior, lost gods of old, a thief of shadows blessed with light, a single lie which stole their night, a princess to win in a brutal game, a great empire falling to a monster's claim, a forbidden love, a curse untold, the last immortal trapped in a coin of gold. This sounds really, really good. I love their writing. I can't wait to get into this too. And then I bought Kiss of the Basilisk by Lindsay Straub. I believe that's how you say it. I believe this was, yeah, this was a split or swallow novel. I remember this going around and it had like a different cover, but I saw this at Barnes and I was like, oh, and then I saw that it was a split and swallow and I was like, oh, okay, so I guess they like traditionally published it, but the sprayed edges on this is stunning. Are you kidding me? It's really beautiful, and yeah, I just wanted to grab it because it was beautiful, and I can't say no to pretty books. It's a problem. Let's see what this book is about. In the back it says, Tem couldn't imagine a stranger duo, the formidable basilisk and the human prince, both powerful in their own right, but they couldn't be more different from each other. 20-year-old Temperance for Varys has never been kissed, but that's what the basilisk is for. Along with 13 other contestants, Tem must train with a basilisk to learn the power of seduction and win the prince's hand in marriage. When Tem is matched with Caspian, the Serpent King, she realizes she might actually stand a chance. But with tensions rising between the basilisk and the humans, Tem is suddenly torn in two directions. As her bond with Caspian deepens, so does her connection with the prince. When she uncovers a terrible secret about the royal family, Tem finds herself caught between two worlds, neither of which she can survive without. How much you want to bet the basilisk and the prince are the same person? I really hope I'm wrong, but I can't help but make those kinds of guesses when I read something like this. I really hope that it's a more surprising twist. And then I also, in the Target sale, I just went nuts, so don't judge me, okay? I bought the Devabad series by S.A. Chakraborty. So we have the 3 books here. They're all in hardback. I wanted these books in hardback for some unknown reason, but I just like the hardbacks more. The paperbacks, they have like this little flap where like the cover page is smaller than the rest of the book, which I think is really silly. I don't like the way it looks. So I bought all three of them. So the first book is City of Brass. I believe this is the second book, Kingdom of Copper, and then Empire of Gold. I know nothing about this series. All I know is that it is a epic romantasy and it looks like it is Middle Eastern. I love Middle Eastern romantasies, so I really want to get into this. Some of the reviews, let's read that. It says in the back, an extravagant feast of a book, spicy and bloody, dizzyingly magical, and still somehow utterly believable. Ooh, high praise. This was by Laini Taylor. Sabatahira says, The City of Brass is the best adult fantasy I've read since The Name of the Wind. It's stunning and complex and consuming and fantastic. Ooh. Yeah, I'm really intrigued. I can't wait to read this series. It looks really good. I also purchased another Carrie Lake book, Master of Salt and Bone. All I know is that it's a dark romance. I love dark romances. I really need to read one of her books because I have like 3 of her books already and I haven't read one, which is a shame. But anyways, let's see what this is about. In the back it says, when I was a little girl, I dreamed a handsome knight would come and rescue me from my wretched mother. He'd ride up on his white steed and break the curse I've been fated to carry since the day I was born. Funny how things changed over time, how the fairy tale twisted into something far more crooked, darker than I ever imagined. In reality, my knight is scarred and broken, living alone in a castle of bones that overlooks the sea. He isn't searching for me. He never was. Lucian Blackthorn is as cursed as I am and equally shunned by the locals, the fishers of men who believe him to be the devil in the flesh. Perhaps he is. With the way his amber eyes draw me in, ignite me like an infernal blaze, and the sins he whispers in my ear are as wickedly intoxicating as the man himself. Yet his touch is heaven, and his will is my weakness. He calls us forbidden, an unsalvageable tragedy with no happy end. Maybe we are, but in this story, he's the one who needs saving. This definitely sounds really good, but at the same time, I don't know. Like, just from reading that synopsis, I don't know. Have you read this book? Let me know if you've read this book, what your thoughts were on it. I'm very curious. It looks really good. I love a good dark romance when I'm in the mood for it, but I have to be in the mood for it, you know? Like a crazy person, I bought this entire series without reading the first book, and I bought them all from the author's website because I saw that they had gold foiling on the covers. Do not judge me. I don't even know what this series is called, but the books are really pretty. This is by Catherine Mora. I bought like her entire marriage something series, I think. So the first one we have here is The Wrong Bride, The Temporary Wife, The Unwanted Marriage, The Broken Vows, The Secret Fiancé, and The Devious Husband. They're contemporary romances, I feel like, with some morally gray characters or something like that. But I've heard some pretty good things about it, and I really want to start this series, and I want to get into Catherine Mora's writing. I want to have beautiful books on my shelves that I want to keep. You know what I mean? And when I saw these with like the gold foiling and stuff, I was like, you know what? I didn't buy the rest of this series, and I may as well get pretty books if I'm gonna have them on my shelves. So I did, and I'm excited for it. This is like a billionaire contemporary romance books, and yeah, I'm just really excited for it. And they look very beautiful on my shelves. The next 2 books here are part of the Rose Hill series. I think that's what it's called, by Elsie Silver. I bought the second and third book. The second book is Wild Eyes, and the third book is Wild Side. I believe this just came out. I had to get it. Like, I love Elsie Silver, and when it's summertime, I love reading cowboy romances, and you better believe I will be binging all of Elsie Silver's books. I cannot wait. And in spirit of contemporary romances, I also bought the third book in the Play for Keeps series. This is Unravel Me by Becca Mack. I love Becca Mack's writing. I loved Consider Me. So I am slowly purchasing the rest of the books in this series. This is a small town hockey contemporary romance, and it has like all the good feels. Contemporary romances are pretty predictable, but at the same time, they're just so enjoyable, and I go through these really quickly. And then I bought the second and third book in the Sparrow Falls series. So we have Delicate Escape and Broken Harbor by Catherine Cowles. This is like small town contemporary romance with like a hint of mystery to it, and I love that concept. I just really wanted to get the rest of this series. Before I start the series, I like having all of the books already there and ready. A lot of the time, book covers are like being changed left and right, and I hate having books that don't match in a series in my collection because then I have to like start over, and we're not doing that. I heard a lot of hype about these two books. I believe this is her debut series. I'm really intrigued. She's an indie published author as well, and I love supporting indie published authors. So this is the Octasian Chronicles by Kylie Snow, and the first book is The Lies of Lena, and the second book is The Sins of Silas. I believe these are also interconnected romances, like each couple is going to get 1 or 2 books or something like that, and this is about the first couple. I actually haven't read the synopsis in the back, so let's read it together. Lena de Lira has always lived in fear, as do most mages in Tovagath. Mages are discriminated against, hunted for sport, and have no laws that provide them protection. She has kept to herself her entire life, even after she and her mother found a permanent residence in the kingdom of Octasia. That is until she meets Quill Callan, a handsome resident of the Inner Ring, who agrees to train her in weaponry, a safe way of defending herself. As her feelings for Quill develop, she is taunted by the reminder that she can never show her true self, show what she really is, not even to him. Silas Laroon, Crown Prince of Octasia, has been kept inside the castle walls since he was 5 years old, since the kidnapping and murder of his younger sister, the princess. He hasn't known freedom, hasn't even seen his kingdom, except from the castle windows. It isn't until the queen allows him one day outside the walls that he sees Octasia for himself. One day that changes everything. When something devastating separates Lena from the man she grows to love, things are not the same when they find each other 5 years later. Not at all. And when Lena and Silas's story finally becomes intertwined, it is clear the fate of Magekind rests on both of their shoulders. I don't know what it is about this book and this series, but I'm really intrigued. There's a lot of hype around it, and again, I have FOMO, so we are going to read it. And then I bought the third book in the Infatuated Fae series, Where Did You Go by Gina O'Reilly. I am really intrigued to read this series. I am honestly just waiting for this series to be over so I can start it. All I know is that it is a epic romantasy, and these books are pretty short, but apparently they pack a punch. And I'm really interested to see where Gina O'Reilly goes with this series. I'm not even gonna bother reading the back of it because it's the third book in the series and I don't want to spoil myself for the first 2. I also bought the last 2 books in the Ravenhood series by Kate Stewart so I can finally start it. This is a completed series, so I'm really excited to start it. This is like a Robin Hood retelling kind of book. I have no idea. I don't know what the hell I'm saying. There's a lot of people that have cried about this series, so I don't want to cry, but like I want to know what the hype is about, and I have FOMO. So I am really interested to see what these books are going to be about. I feel like there's like a love triangle or something in this series. If you've read it, let me know your thoughts on it. I'm very intrigued. And then on a whim, I bought Ruthless Creatures. I haven't heard anything about this book. I've never read a book by J.T. Geisinger, and I've heard really good things about their writing. In the back, this is what got me. 5 years ago, my fiance disappeared. He left me with a wedding dress I'd never wear, left me with the kind of scars that can't be healed. The man I built my future on vanished like a ghost. All that remained was my broken heart and a million unanswered questions, until a mysterious stranger arrives in town. Tall, dark, and dangerous, Cage is as full of secrets as he is sex appeal. Though I know he's hiding something, I'm drawn to him like a moth to flame. He crackles between us with every look. Desire flares into passion, and I fall hard, helpless to resist. And then I discover he's been sent to collect an unpaid debt from my missing fiance, and that debt is me. Say less. Are you kidding me? I am so excited to read this. And before I read the Legacy of God series by Rena Kent, I want to read her previous series, like a prequel to that series. So I am going to slowly start picking those up because I like reading them in publishing order. So the first book here is Cruel King. And we have Deviant King. No idea what it's about. It's a dark romance. It's gonna be a good old time. That's all. If you read these, let me know if I'm going to like them or not. This just looks like a dark, good old time. And then I picked up the Strawberry Patch Pancake House by Lori Gilmore. This is like, I think, the fourth book in this series. It's like a small town romance. Her books are like super feel good. There's no risk. And it's just a good old cozy time, something that I can read without wanting to raise my heart. In the back it says it is about a small town spicy romance as a world-renowned chef, single dad Archer, single dad, say less, never planned on moving to a small town, let alone running a pancake house. But Dream Harbor needs a new chef and Archer needs a community to help raise his daughter. Iris has never managed to hold down a job, so when Mayor Kelly suggests Archer is looking for a live-in nanny, she almost runs in the opposite direction. Now Iris finds herself in a whole new world, one where her gorgeous new boss lives right across the hall and likes to cook topless. Keeping everything strictly professional should be easy, right? Say less. Single dad nanny romance. Oh, that's my jam. I love a single parent romance. They're always so good. I eat it up. And then next I picked up Deep End by Ali Hazelwood. I did get like the sprayed edge one. I am hearing a lot of controversial opinions about this book, but I want to see what it's all about. Nisha Sharma, she is one of my favorite contemporary romance authors, and she reviewed this book and I was like, oh, if she read it, I have to read it. And that's honestly why I bought it, because I love her and I love her opinion. And she described it as Ali Hazelwood being able to describe people's, like, these two characters' kinks, but in such a healthy and safe way. I'm really intrigued. I believe this is like a college romance as well. So yeah, this should be fun. And the cover is just absolutely gorgeous. And next I picked up Real by Kennedy Ryan. I've never read a Kennedy Ryan book, and I feel like as someone who reads books as much as I like to drink water, I need to read a Kennedy Ryan book, and I've heard really good things about this book and I really want to get into it. And this cover is just also stunning. So this book, let's see what it's about. In the back it says Nevaeh Saint is ready for the spotlight after months as an understudy. That is her night to shine. She never imagined he would watch in the audience. Kenan Holt, famous film director, fascinating, talented, fine. Before she can catch her breath, everything is changing. Nevaeh goes from backstage Broadway to center stage Hollywood, from being unknown to having her name on everyone's lips when Kenan casts her in a star-studded Harlem Renaissance biopic. But forbidden attraction scandal and circumstances beyond Nevaeh's control soon put her dream in jeopardy. Could this one shot, the role of a lifetime, the love of a lifetime cost her everything? I feel like I'm going to get some major tea reading this. Recently I read Say You Swear by Megan Brandy, and I know that this is a part of that world. I had to pick up Promise Me Not. Say You Swear was so good, so I really can't wait to read Promise Me Not. This is about the brother of our FMC from Say You Swear and Peyton, one of their friends, and yeah, I'm like really excited to read this. Her story sounded very tragic in Say You Swear, and I wanted to get to know her more in that book, but the author was like, nope, this is all you get. And the crumbs that the author left for us in Say You Swear, I wanted more of it, and I'm so excited to read this book. And then I also picked up A Love Letter to Whiskey by Candy Steiner. I heard that this book is going to be republished and the cover is going to be changing, and this cover is stunning. I love this cover. It's so beautiful. So I just picked it up. I don't know what it's about. I know that this is a touching contemporary romance and it just makes you feel all the feels. I know that there's also some kind of substance abuse that is involved in this as well. There's a toxic romance and relationship. I'm all for it. I love a good story. So let's see what this is about in the back. This is not your typical love story. It's a love story of almost and could have beens. That sounds painful. Of friendship that teeters on the edge of something more, of passion so intoxicating it burns. Jamie and B are two hearts caught in the tangle of bad timing and unspoken words. Their connection defies labels. Too deep for friendship, too tangled for love. Over a decade of moments, choices, and missed opportunities, they find themselves drawn together like a moth to a flame, even when the world and their own mistakes keep pulling them apart. Is it obsession, destiny, or just self-destruction with a pretty face? Sometimes love isn't about finding the right person. It's about the moment when everything aligns. But what if that moment never comes? This sounds like it's going to break my heart. I'm really scared. But I'm also really intrigued. When I need to feel something, like when I'm going through a book slump, I feel like this would be like a go-to book. I have major FOMO, as we've already established. So I bought the entire Hunger Games series. I did not get like the special edition one because I didn't really enjoy the movies. So I don't know if I'm going to enjoy the books or not, but one of the girls at Barnes & Noble's that I talk to pretty often when I go to Barnes & Noble's, she was like, listen, give the books a try because you never know if you're gonna like it or not. And I know that there's a new book that came out and I want to understand what all the hype is about. So I just bought the box set. It's honestly cheaper than buying the book separately. So I was like, you know what, to hell with it. I'll just buy the whole thing. And my 9-year-old, she also loves the Hunger Games. So I feel like she might enjoy this, but I want to read them first to make sure that it is age appropriate for her and there's no inappropriate scenes. So I will be reading this first. And if I don't like it, then at least I gave it a shot and I tried it out, and then I can pass it on to my kid. I picked up a book by Blake Crouch. I've heard really good things about his writing, so I picked up Dark Matter. I want to know what the hype is about. This book is supposed to really mess with the reader's minds. It's like a sci-fi thriller. It's been a while since I've read a thriller, and it's pretty short and quick. I've heard so many good things about this author, so I really want to give this a try. In the back, it says, "Are you happy with your life?" Those are the last words Jason Desson hears before the kidnapper knocks him unconscious, before he awakens to find himself strapped to a gurney, surrounded by strangers in hazmat suits. Before a man he's never met smiles down at him and says, "Welcome back, my friend." In this world he's woken up to, Jason's life is not the one he knows. His wife is not his wife. His son was never born. And Jason is not an ordinary college professor, but a celebrated genius who has achieved something remarkable, something impossible. Is it this life or the other that's the dream? And even if the home he remembers is real, how will Jason make it back to the family he loves? Are you kidding? This sounds amazing. Immediately. This is going to get read real quick. I also repurchased The Perfect Marriage. This is the hardback and the special edition. I had to. Like, I love Geneva Rose and I love this book so much. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to unhaul my paperback and just read this one. When I bought this one, The Perfect Divorce was already out, so I just purchased this as well, and it's like a matching set. How could I not? I think that this one is set maybe like 10 years after The Perfect Marriage, and I am so here for it. The FMC in The Perfect Marriage was insanely smart and just a total psycho, and I just can't wait to read about this world again. I can't wait to be with these characters again. It's going to be a good old time. I can't wait. And then I picked up The Light of All That Falls by James Isington. This is the third book in the Lycania series, and oh my gosh, I've already read this, and oh my gosh, just wait for my reading wrap up for this month. I feel like the series competes with Brandon Sanderson's books because it was just epic. And this author was inspired to write by reading Brandon Sanderson books. And it shows. It literally shows. Remember when I said I went crazy during that Target sale? I definitely did. I bought the rest of the Bound and the Broken series by Ryan Cahill. I have no self-control and these books are so heavy, but I really wanted the hardbacks of these, especially, I think this is like the third book of War and Ruin. Are you serious? This book is freaking massive. It's so heavy. It's a weapon at this point. It's a freaking weapon. I have no idea what this series is about. All I know is I love the covers. The concept of the plot seems very interesting. It's like a epic fantasy. I also picked up the first 3 books of the Dungeon Crawler series by Matt Dinman. I heard it's really funny and like an epic trial kind of book, and I love books with trials in it. So the first book we have here is Dungeon Crawler Carl. The second book is Carl's Doomsday Scenario, and it just like looks super chaotic. I'm so here for it though. The third book is the Dungeon Anarchist Cookbook, and there's like a dinosaur or something chasing a man. It just looks so funny. Something is seriously wrong with me for purchasing these books without even reading the first one, but that's, you know, that's how it kind of works. I recently read The Sword of Kagan by M.L. Wang. So I had to buy Blood Over Brighthaven by her because I need to know and I need to read more of her books. That's all it is. She has changed me as a person. I can't wait to read more of her books. A little bit of the synopsis. It says, the first woman ever admitted to a prestigious order of mages unravels a secret conspiracy that could change the practice of magic forever. In this standalone dark fantasy from the author of The Sword of Kagan. Standalone dark fantasy. Are you kidding? Absolutely. And then I also purchased Empire of the Damned by J. Kristoff. This is the second book in this series. I have Empire of the Vampire as well. I have not read it yet. I need all the books before I start the series. I love H.C. Carlton, so I bought A Shallow River and Phantom by her. Phantom is set in the cat and mouse duets world. I believe Shallow River is in a different world. I have no idea what it's about. In the back it says, Shallow Hill is where souls suffer slow and miserable deaths. That's all I need to know. And it's by H.G. Carlton. Like, I'll read anything she writes. She can write what she had for lunch yesterday and I'll still read it. I've heard a lot of hype, even though I read a book by this author and I did not like it. I ended up unhauling the book and I never want to look at it again. But I've heard a lot of hype about this series. So I bought the first book. I did not buy any more books in this series because I was skeptical and I was worried that I wasn't going to enjoy it. So I did purchase the first book. It is Insatiable by Lee Rivers. This is the first book in the Edge of Darkness series. In the back, it says, if he can't have her, no one else can. Cade Mitchell is obsessed with someone he despises. A snake in an angel's skin. Stacy Rhodes is everything he can't forget. The girl who shattered his heart and drove him deep into the darkness of the underworld. He watched her for years, killed anyone who came close to her, but now, granted a brief moment of freedom from the life he's trapped in, he's back home and driven to claim her again, breaking every rule he's ever made for himself. Not even his hatred can stop the pull between them, but he'll never forgive her, will he? This sounds really good. And then I bought Play Along by Liz Tomfordee. This is the fourth book in the Windy City series. I love this series so much. I can't wait to read this. This is about Kennedy and Isaiah. This is like a baseball romance. I love a good sports romance as well. Yeah, I'm not even going to read the back of this because I just want to go into it blindly. If you want to go ahead and look up what this book is about, it is Play Along by Liz Tomfordee, fourth book in the Windy City series. And then I bought Scythe and Sparrow by Bryn Weaver. I read Butcher and Blackbird and Leather and Lark. I didn't like Butcher and Blackbird as much as I had hoped, but then Leather and Lark changed that. Absolutely devoured that book in like one night, and so I cannot wait to read about the third brother in Scythe and Sparrow. Scythe and Sparrow is basically a dark romance, and there are serial killers killing serial killers. It's like totally Dexter, and I really enjoyed Leather and Lark, so I really hope that this keeps its momentum and I enjoy this one as well. I heard that Jessa Hastings wrote another book, The Conditions of Will, so I purchased it. I have no idea what this book is about, but really enjoyed Magnolia Parks, the first book, and Daisy Hates, the second book. And yeah, I'm still continuing on with that series. It is very toxic, so it's really hard to kind of get through sometimes. I have to be in the mood for it. But The Conditions of Will, inside it says, I can't remember the last time I couldn't get a handle on myself and my emotions, but the lid is slipping. Something about the slipping lid feels like it's Sam Penny's fault, like he broke the seal and he's slowly opening me up. It just sounds like it's going to be full of drama again. I love a book that gives me so much tea, and this cover is just so unique. It's so beautiful, but like so unique. And then next we have Amid Clouds and Bones by Ella Fields. This is a standalone fantasy romance. In the back, it says, as the half-fairy daughter of a human king, my days were spent tucked out of sight until the Seelie Fae fought an alliance with our kingdom. In exchange for my father's help in defeating their unseelie enemies, I would wed Atakan the Heartless. The Seelie prince loathed everyone, but none more than me. Throughout the years leading to our nuptials, each encounter grew more terrifying than the last as he demonstrated how he'd earned his infamous reputation. Fear would only do me faster, so I learned to hide it with games I soon became happy to play. I wasn't supposed to crave a monster, but just when I thought I might tame the untamable, fate intervened and delivered me straight to his enemy. Oh! I can't wait to read this. I love finding a good romantasy book that is a standalone. Don't see them very often, but I have been on a mission to find them. And then I bought the first two books in the Bloodwing Academy series. The first book is On Wings of Blood, and the second is The Bond That Burns. This series covers just looks so good. It's giving vampire, it's giving dark fantasy and epic romantasy. I've heard so many people raving about this series, and I think there's a prequel series to this. I have to check that out and I have to get my hands on it. But in the back it says, at Bloodwing Academy, blood is power and love is a dangerous game. I didn't sign up for this. A half-fae in a school of high blood vampires? That's a recipe for torment. I'm Medra Pendragon, last of the dragon riders, or so they tell me. Funny thing is, there are no dragons left. Not a single one. But somehow, that hasn't stopped the vampires from deciding I'm worth capturing. Now I'm stuck at Bloodwing Academy, where the high blood run everything, and Lightborn like me, we're just blood in their veins. Pawns in their games. But that's not even the worst part. Enter Blake Dragharo, cold, arrogant, and way too gorgeous for his own good. He's been tormenting me since the moment we met, and now, thanks to some ancient ritual, we're betrothed. Oh! He acts like he owns me, but I'm not going down without a fight. Bloodwing isn't just a school, it's a battlefield. High bloods fight for power, and if you're weak, you're dead. Between deadly competitions, lies that could get me executed, and a dragon-shaped secret looming over my head, all I have to do is survive. Easy, right? Except I'm starting to think the real danger isn't the academy. It's what I'm becoming in this twisted game of power. And Blake, he might just be the one who pushes me over the edge. They think they can control me. They think they can use me. But they have no idea what they've awakened. I need to read this book, like ASAP. I hope that this series finishes soon because I want to devour it. And I got the third book in the Legacy series by Melissa K. Roerich. I have been dying to read the series, and I'm slowly buying all the books in the series. This is the last one that is out right now. I believe the fourth and final one is going to be released sometime this year, and I cannot wait to get back into this world and to see my favorite characters from the Lady of Darkness series. I just can't wait. If you love a dark gothic fantasy romance, Melissa K. Roerich is the author to read. During a recent reading vlog that I did, it was where I read like hockey romances. I had purchased this book, but I never got a chance to read it. I had already met the quota of the books that I wanted to read. I really want to try this out. It's Brutal Obsession by S. Massery. This is a dark hockey romance. In the back it says, I had a foolproof plan. Finish college playing the best sport on earth, hockey, get drafted by an NHL team, and make my Senate father at least a little proud of me. I was on track to do just that until Violet Reese and I collided. Literally. Turns out my plan didn't account for a night in jail and the news articles that followed it. Everything fell apart after that. New school, new hockey team, and a resentment like I've never felt before directed at the girl who set me off course. Lucky for me, she attends this new school of mine, and there are thousands of ways to ruin her. This is like a bully romance, and I fear I am drawn to it. So we shall see. I also want to embark on my journey and read the Farseer series. I bought the first book, Assassin's Apprentice. I am really intrigued. I am going to purchase all the books before I start the series. I want to read the first book before I purchase the rest of the series because sometimes some high fantasies hit and sometimes they don't. But I've heard really good things about this series, so I'm going to start this sometime this year. This is about Fitz. He's basically the bastard son of a noble. He's treated like an outcast by all of the royal people of this world, and as he gets older he is sent to a certain quest or something like that where he just becomes a total badass. I think that's what happens, and that's the best way I can summarize. So I am really looking forward to it. I love a good series, a good fantasy series where they take a boy and turn him into a man that just becomes a total savage and I'm here for it. I love R.F. Kuang, and I have the Poppy War, but I don't have the other two books in the series, so I purchased them. I am going to be doing a read of this series very soon, and I'm super excited. Let me know if you guys want me to vlog my journey, but I am really looking forward to reading this book. R.F. Kuang is my queen. I love her writing so much. She does character development, immersive world building, and an amazing superior magic system like no other. She's amazing. After reading the Lycania series, I purchased The Will of the Many by James Isington. I know the second book is going to be coming out sometime this year, so I am not going to start this book just yet because I want to know how many more books are going to be in that series, but I have it in my possession, and I believe this is like a something year anniversary. I don't remember how many years this book has been out, but I'm really intrigued and I'm really interested to read this. So I have this in my collection, and this is just a beautiful edition. I am not a fan of the one with the blue dust jacket. The dust jacket literally feels like thin paper mache. So I wanted something sturdier, and when I saw this, I was like, yes. This is basically a epic dark academic fantasy, I believe. Inside it says, at the Elite Katinin Academy, a young fugitive uncovers layered mysteries and world-changing secrets in this new fantasy series. It just sounds super good. I can't wait for a high fantasy that is set in a academic setting. I also picked up the second book in the Wrong series by C.R. Jane. This is The Pucking Wrong Guy. It's a dark hockey romance, and I am obsessed with dark hockey romances now. In the back it says, it's hard to resist the past in this steamy dark hockey romance. Blake moved to LA for a fresh start and to make it big. Now she's waiting tables while her dreams of becoming a model hover just out of reach. She already has her hands full, and then her past walks into the room and changes everything. What's your name, sunshine? At first Blake doesn't recognize him, but the gorgeous 6'4" tattooed pro hockey player is Ari Lancaster, her first ever crush, the one who got her through the worst time in her life. He's all grown up now with an unshakable confidence and the ability to turn her inside out with a single kiss. And he has no intention of letting her go. Blake knows she should resist, but each time Ari's overwhelming intensity is focused on her, all her best intentions go out the window. There's no denying they're playing in different leagues, but it's only a matter of time before Blake starts to wonder if the completely wrong guy she's falling for is actually the right one. I can't wait to read this. It just sounds so good. I love dark hockey romances. I bought the 4th, 5th, and 6th book in the Plated Prisoner series by Raven Kennedy. This is the hardbacks with like the yellow sprayed edges. We have Glow, we have Gold, and lastly we have Goldfinch. I have been waiting to purchase this set for many years. It's just been so expensive, but during Barnes & Noble's sale, I got this like 30% off plus my 10% discount for being a member, and I had like $25 in points, so this literally was like nothing, plus I got triple the points for this box set. So I bought, can you guys, I'm gonna try to hold it up for you guys so you could see it, but this is so heavy. This is the box set of the Harry Potter series. This is all hardback, and I wanted this trunk box case so badly because it just looks so good on my bookshelf. It is all 7 books. I love Harry Potter. I am a Harry Potter stan, okay? So when I saw that this was on sale, I just had to grab it, and I'm so excited to reread this series and just dive back into this world. I've watched all of the movies at least a dozen times, if not more, and yeah, I just love this world so much. That concludes this video. If you stuck around, thank you so much. I love you so much. That was a entire commitment, and right now we are locked in. If you read any of these books, or if any of these books are on your TBR, let me know. I'm so excited to read so many of these books. I'm so excited that I was able to share these books with you all, and I feel very fortunate to be able to purchase so many books and have such a expansive library. I'm just so grateful, and I'm just so happy that I was able to share it with you all. I love you so much. Thank you so much for sticking around again, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.